Welcome back to the Carlson Collective. I'm Logan, and this is my wife, Kristen. This is the Carlson Collective, where we are conscious living meets real conversation. We're here to explore the full spectrum of an intentional life, from the depths of spirituality and higher consciousness to the practical worlds of fitness, biohacking, marriage, and everything in between. This isn't your typical self-improvement podcast. It's just two people navigating growth together, sharing what's working and what's not, and bringing you along for honest discussions about optimizing body, mind, and spirit. Whether we're breaking down the latest biohacking protocols, unpacking a transformational insight, debating our favorite films, or getting real about the challenges of evolving as a couple, we keep it grounded, relatable, and always authentic. Expect deep dives without the pretension, practical wisdom without the dogma, and the kind of conversations you have with friends who are genuinely committed to becoming their best selves together. Welcome back. So, in case anybody hadn't watched, our last episode was the 5 universal truths, spirituality, belief, and what actually changes a marriage. The 5 truths were: you are not separate, fear is an illusion, love is real, your mind creates your reality, the ego is the only enemy, and everything is connected. We also talked about Bashar's teachings that all religions point to the same source, just different languages, same truth, and Alan Watts' backwards law. I also shared my psychedelic awakening that I am enough and how it shifted my marriage from performing to being present, and the practical focus of embodied beliefs, not just intellectual understanding, which creates spiritual marriage through daily practices and honest conversations about what you do to each other and what you actually believe. So, welcome back.
Yes, welcome. We're going to be talking about environmental toxins and your health. And this was inspired by July 16th in Detroit, which, if you didn't watch any of the world news, because everybody in the world knew this, Detroit had the worst air quality index since I think it was 1999 from the research that I showed. And what did it was 724, but doesn't the AQI max out?
It maxes out, I think, at like 400 or 500.
Yeah.
We went above it.
But we were the worst air quality in the entire world. So more than industrialized countries like China, India. It was incredible. It was incredibly bad. So we want to kind of dive into not just that environmental toxin, but some other things that we're going to talk about too, like Wi-Fi, EMF, things of that nature. But we're going to start with, kind of like the wildfire smoke, the smog, the particulates. It wasn't, because everyone's like, oh, it's just smoke. It just smells like bonfire. It's like, it wasn't just burning wood that you were inhaling. It was compressing all of the particulates in the air, from car exhaust to factory emissions, everything. And then we had the humidity on top of it.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, we literally, the quality of it was basically like, it smells like bonfire and like burning plastic. It was nasty. I remember when I walked outside, I was like, I still went for a walk, which was probably not the smartest. Yeah, I wasn't the smartest.
I'm going to say it right now. Anyone who had to go outside, I'm so sorry that you had to. And for those of you who didn't, good for you. And those of you who thought that it was just smoke, it wasn't.
It wasn't that I didn't believe it. It was just that I'm stubborn, and I literally never miss a morning of walking. It's just part of my routine.
It's okay. I've got some detox hacks, because beverage consultant here, also an herbalist, I brought some goodies to share.
Let's share.
Yeah.
So which one do you want to start with, babe?
I guess, let's talk about specifically, there was a review in the European Journal of Cardiovascular Medicine that was published in 2025, and it was a systematic review. It was 78 studies covering 40 million plus people, linking high AQI exposure to acute respiratory cardiovascular events in the short term, and also COPD, heart disease, stroke, cognitive decline, and increased mortality in the long term. So that's why, countries that have horrible AQI, their life expectancy is shorter. And I know a lot of our friends and family that I talk to, they're like, oh, it was just for, a 24, 48-hour period. Even that short-term exposure increases your risk for Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, COPD. Even if you are the healthiest individuals, like you said, you went for a walk because you're stubborn.
Mhm.
And then also because you're like, well, I'm very physically fit. I should be okay.
Well, and I mean, yes, I wasn't that I was it was more the fact that I was just stubborn that I always walk. I never
I
miss a
know you do,
day.
baby.
And even then, I think they said if you were outside for even just for a full day, I think it was equivalent of like a pack of cigarettes. It was like 16 to
Oh, I
20
think it was,
cigarettes.
dude, I think it was way more than
Yeah,
that.
probably. But I mean, I definitely felt it. I mean, I had scratchy throats. I was not I felt winded and tired. And then
Mhm.
after that I didn't go for another walk, but
Yeah.
it was definitely rough.
And the thing that is most dangerous about this is the particulate. So I don't know if because you were the one who was a little bit more in tune with the concentration levels. So with the wildfire smoke, it was 2.5 concentrations, which is 10 times the average ambient levels of what the World Health WHO recommends. And what this is very important. When you're breathing in that toxic air, it's not only entering your lungs, and people had scratchy throat and watery eyes. When you inhale that into your lungs, much like a medicinal inhaler like albuterol or things of that nature, it gets into your bloodstream. So these particulates are not filtered through nasal passages. They're not filtered through your lung tissue. They're entering into your bloodstream. So that's the proponent of the Alzheimer's, dementia, and cancer that it contributes to. So when you have those high particulate matter measurements and you're inhaling that, it's not going away. It's in your bloodstream. So there's certain things that you can do, some protocols that help you detox your body. And I know one of the major ones that you and I always do, because it's part of our lifestyle, if you want to talk about it, is sauna.
Yeah. Sauna is, I mean, outside of anything that's a detox that you do with like foods and different
Mm-hmm.
substances, it doesn't even come close to the effective quality of what sauna does. Sauna is the
Mm-hmm.
best thing for detoxing mineral or metals and toxins, plastics especially,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's more specific with men. The one thing you have to be careful of is the heat because of the growing. You
Mm-hmm.
can actually lower testosterone. So, wearing things like an ice pack or something like that for men, and then also
For your boys.
for the boys, and
Mm-hmm.
then also um, the quality of your clothing. If you're doing a lot of synthetic materials,
Yeah.
they have plastics in them they can bleed into and leach
Mm-hmm.
into your skin. So that's also very
So
important.
you should always go naked.
Well,
I
we don't.
just
No,
I
we don't
just
do
wear
that.
a thong in there, and I probably freak out all the other young girls.
Well, you can do what you want, but I don't think for guys. Yeah, we're not doing full naked. Sorry, ain't doing that.
Well, you
But
can use like an organic cotton towel.
it's like organic cotton and things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature. And yeah, I would say at least, I mean, the studies have shown that if you do sauna between 10 to 15 minutes, 4 to 6 times a week, your chance of heart disease and stroke go down by 50 to 60%.
Mm-hmm.
It's night and day difference.
Yeah.
So that's the one. I mean, there's a reason why the Norwegian countries have some of the best health markers, the highest health
Yeah.
markers over
Yeah,
there.
the Swedes and the Finns, they love their sauna and dry, and we have to specify dry sauna,
Dry sauna.
not steam sauna, dry sauna specifically.
Hmm.
So yeah, like Logan said, if by chance, and people are like, oh, well, it's July 30, it's the end of July, and this was, 2 weeks ago. Is it really going to be beneficial? Yes. Start it now. When is the best time to plant a tree? Today, right now. When is the best time to start doing a health protocol? Right now. Just do it.
Well, and also the one thing that you can look at for your home, we have an air filter. It's Blue Air,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets rid of a lot of these
Not a
2.5
sponsor.
particles. Not a sponsor, no, but it's the best one that I found that does remove mold, toxins, and different things in your air, and that has worked very well for our home.
Yeah.
So having a good air quality filter is very important,
Yeah.
especially if you have an older home. That's quite important.
Yeah, and our home is older. And we actually got to see the air purifier work yesterday because you and I were making homemade from scratch naan bread. And, olive oil doesn't have a very high smoke points. So
Yeah.
it got a little smoky in the house, but the air purifier, it kicked on and it like there was a red light and I'm just like, ooh, it's working because this thing is massive. It's huge. It can do up to rooms up to 3,000 square feet.
Depending on what unit size you buy.
Yeah, and the one that we have, it does. So yeah, we're like our house is very purified with that.
We didn't even realize we were burning the house down here until we're like, is there smoke and fog in here? I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, are my glasses just dirty? I'm like, oh no,
Nope,
it's
smoke.
it's smoky.
But yeah, that's one simple thing that I think people can add into their home. It's also especially in the room that you sleep in, that's going to be your quality of sleep, what your air you're breathing in. It's a simple fix that I think more people are getting into, but
Yes.
looking at the different reviews, I've just found that Blue Air was the best one that for so
Yeah, I'm so glad that you got that. So those are, a couple things that you can just do, and you don't have to do anything. You just sit there, right? So like sauna, you just sit there. Your air purifier, you're just turn it on. But there's some other protocols that I learned when I was working for a very prominent health food store of internal cleanses that are specifically but some of the things that you can do if you want to do heavy metals cleanse is zeolite. So this is something that I put in. So in my water, this isn't water. There's like 20 different things in here. Yeah, it's a concoction with a water base. But one of the things that I do daily is actually zeolite because it is a heavy metal binder. So it removes heavy metals through urination and obviously with the sauna, sweat as well. One of the things that I really amped up on when all of the smog factor was happening, because I had to open the door to let the dog out, get Lucy back inside, is this lung tonic. So these two things I learned about when I was working at the health food store that were just incredible, and it's something that Logan incorporates as well, maybe daily. I don't know if you do the zeolite daily or weekly.
I do both. Yeah.
But this lung tonic, so this is all herbs and botanicals. And the main one is mullein. So mullein, what that does is it helps support your breathing. There's horehound in here, which clears your mucus. L-campaign root, which comforts like your chest tissues. Osha root, so that's a Native American traditional botanical that helps strengthen your lungs. So this was something that you can mix it in water. I'm just a diehard and I put it underneath my tongue, even though it's alcohol based. Like
it tastes like crap.
And
so
it does taste,
no,
and it tastes awful. It's awful. Certain things, spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So just drink something nice afterwards. And going back to the zeolite. So this is fulvic minerals. And this is similar to the trace minerals that you have bought for me that I put in my water. But zeolite is just a lot more compacted as the heavy metal remover, and you'll see it's black and it doesn't taste good by itself. Just put it in your water.
Yeah, the trace minerals are more of that's upgraded formulas, Barton's company, and that's just for we don't absorb and actually get a lot of the minerals and supplements that we take, we're not absorbing properly.
Right.
His technology actually has a nanotechnology that has a 99% absorption rate, because his whole study behind this is actually how it absorbs into the body. And the trace minerals are just something daily that I incorporate. It's by far that, and his sleep magnesium. I will never use anything else for magnesium wise, because nothing else.
Is that part of the Huberman stack?
The Huberman stack is like magnesium, glycine, apigen. It's just different stacks of different supplements, but then you can source them wherever you want.
Okay, got it. So you do like the Huberman like protocol, but like you choose which one supplements that you've researched, because you've worked in supplement companies, two different ones.
But yeah, no, the stack itself is just what he recommends, and you have to cycle these things on and off because the
Mhm.
body will absorb or get used to them.
Same with melatonin.
I don't really like melatonin. The only time I have found that melatonin is very good to use is when you travel for
Yeah.
jet lag and things of that
Yeah.
nature. But when it comes to daily, it actually can actually hinder your sleep and the quality
Mhm.
of it. I like things like Apigen because Apigen will actually help you stay asleep after you fall asleep. So
Mm.
magnesium is the thing that puts you to sleep.
Yeah.
You can do L-theanine as well, calms you down, and then Apigen would be one that helps you stay into a deep sleep.
Got it.
So
Okay, and then one more uh heavy metal binder is chlorella, not to be confused with chlorophyll, which we do also put that into our water almost daily.
mhm.
But chlorella is better, and it just works differently than chlorophyll. So chlorella is it's a species of green algae, uh, and this is something that naturally is a heavy metal binder, meaning so it binds to the heavy metals and then you excrete it out. So whether through sauna, through your sweat or urination. So when all of that smog and smoke was happening, I was, I took like 10 tablets of these and then another 10 the next day and then another 10 just to give my body just that jump start. And then I've been doing sauna. I mean, we've always done sauna. So this like just helped push everything out of your system.
Well, and the other thing too with the smoke was that it's not just the fact that you're breathing it in and affecting your lungs, but it's getting into your blood. It's getting
Mhm.
past the blood-brain barrier. So
Yep.
things of the metals and all that is
That's
getting
why the dementia and Alzheimer's, it increases
increases
when
it.
you are outside in that.
Yeah, so you're really avoiding it at obviously the time, but
Mhm.
it's though you have to be very careful on thinking it's not just the lungs and what you're breathing in, but how that absorbs through the body into the blood, and then that's going to absorb into your organs and different things of that nature.
Mhm.
So very important to remember these things.
Yeah. And again, we're not medical professionals. Do we
Sh-
really have to say that
Yeah,
anymore? My
apparently you
God.
do. But and then one of the things we've always incorporated was methylene blue.
Mhm.
I mean, I got into it just for the cognitive benefits of it.
Mhm.
Um, I never had. There was a lot of people that online that talked about it when we were first researching it. Talks about like waking up from a dream and like it has this amazing effect. I didn't have much of that. I just
Mhm.
found that just made me clear processing thoughts and different emotions. I think the more off you are with your supplement and your health and your exercise and food and everything like that, it may have a higher impact if you're eating a lot of processed things and you're not as clean as you could be. It may have a higher benefit for you, but for me, it was just something that had a slight increase in my cognitive
Yeah.
function.
And
So
also the biggest thing, mitochondrial health.
it does. Yep.
So that's the powerhouse. If we go back to biology, uh, middle school maybe. So when you learned about the mitochondria, that's the powerhouse cell. That's
Powerhouse. Yep.
all I remember. So yeah, so and yeah, mitochondrial oxygenation. So
Mhm.
that's huge too, especially when, you know, our bodies, we need oxygen to survive. So it just enhances that. And there's a lot of controversy, I guess, around methylene blue because people are like, oh, it's an industrial dye. And it's like, well, it's
It's been
it's
used for a
more than
long
that.
time, but I mean, with anything you put into your body, you should be cautious with it.
And
And
do your own research, people.
yeah, I mean, it's your own research, but then your body's going to respond differently than anybody else. So again,
Mhm.
I kind of like being the guinea pig of my own life.
Yeah.
And if once I do the research and I can see possible benefits,
Yes.
apply it, see how it benefits, and then go from
Mhm.
there. But anything of any one of these, really, I think the simplest one is dry sauna. You can just incorporate that.
Yeah.
There's not a negative I can think of that would be a negative for that.
Yeah.
But with things like methylene blue and zeolite, like, just take your due diligence and know what the effects are and if it has possible effects with different medications and things of that
Yeah.
nature. That's just common sense.
And just be aware. They call it methylene blue and it does stain everything. I remember when I was working at that health food store, I put some drops in my mouth because I'm like, oh. And I walked around. Thank God it was towards the end of my shift. But my teeth were turned blue. My tongue was blue for I think it was like 2 days.
Well, that and then I think we got some on the counter and it stained the countertop.
Oh yeah, big time.
So,
Big time.
so yeah, just
So
be careful with it.
yeah. So speaking of blue,
Hmm.
blue light.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, there's been so much done on this. So I mean, if you haven't
Yeah.
heard of it, I'd be
Yeah,
very
so this is another
surprised.
environmental toxin in a way for your eyesight, everyone.
Yep. But your blue light, especially everything from your phone, your television, computer screens, anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to emit blue light.
Mm-hmm.
The one simple hack that I've always incorporated, especially, is the priming, like I talked about before in my mornings. I don't go directly to my phone. I like to do my breath work, my meditations, my prayer, all journaling, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you give yourself at least, I say, an hour to two before you even look at your phone, that's the best thing you can do.
Oh yeah.
But really avoiding it as much as possible, especially once you go to bed. Red light is the thing that's going to stimulate sleep and tiredness.
Mm-hmm.
Blue light's going to actually keep you awake.
Yeah.
So,
I have on my phone, I have my, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but like, see, it got super bright. So that's without my filter on, and that's with my filter.
well, and the thing you got to be careful of with those, like the built-in phone blue light filters, is they don't
This
always,
is an app.
even then you have to be careful because a
Yeah.
lot of them, we don't know what spectrums of blue it's actually restricting. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, it could just be a tint on your phone for all we know. So really just avoiding it is the best thing. Or you get blue light glasses that can actually filter
Mm-hmm.
these things, a high quality one. I
Mm-hmm.
think Huberman has a Bona, I think is the brand, or one of the brand. He has his own brand.
There's a
But especially in the morning, but then even before bed, if you cut out blue light like TV screens at least an hour before bed and did something like reading, you're going to fall asleep easier. You're going to get into a deeper sleep. It's not going to affect the melatonin production because the blue light is tricking the body into thinking that it's actually still daylight.
awake. Yeah.
So that's a big caveat. A lot of people that are doing late night YouTube and videos and watch that, and they're not able to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the blue light at least an hour or two before bed and read a book.
Yeah.
It'll do wonders for you.
I know. We try to do that, but at least one thing we do in the morning is, exposing yourself to natural sunlight, not looking at the sun, but
You
getting.
you don't look directly at it, but you look as close as you can.
Yeah.
And if you get that within a 30 to 60-minute window of when you wake up, that's going to give you the most, it's going to, the eyes are the best receptors for this to actually start getting your body into a natural circadian rhythm. So when you wake up to when you fall asleep, that time frame is actually correct. So looking at the light gives that brain the trick that it does. If you don't have, like, I get up at 4 a.m, so I don't have a lot of natural light. I actually have an artificial like sun that I'll put on.
I remember we got
and it
that.
actually, it works very well for me. It's not as good as the real thing, but
Yeah,
it does the job as much as you can.
Yeah.
So things of that nature.
And then I think you want to talk about some wearable. So we talked about glasses with having blue light filter on them. So that's, a wearable that you can use to help combat your exposure to blue light from screens. But there's a couple different wearable technologies that are specifically for EMF. So that's the electromagnetic field, which comes from Wi-Fi. I mean, we're exposed to it all the time.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Well, and
the cell towers.
It's the 5G towers. And now that we're going to a different level, I think they've actually done studies where every time we've advanced in the type of G, like when we went to 3G to 5G, and then now you have an increase in a specific type of cancer and health effects. And I think between that, cloud seeding, and a few other things, there's so much energy that's being pushed on to us. So it's something that you can even find kits for your home that could actually re-energize that that band and actually make it more healthy for you.
Yeah. So one of it's copper. So like one of the wearables that I have, so this is made out of copper. So this is by Omni, and I bought this for my birthday, but it's the singer MIA, and she came out with this whole clothing line where it's all lined with copper, and it's specifically to protect you from EMF. And when I put my phone, like if you wrap your phone into it, it cuts it off. It cuts off all of the Wi-Fi, which is really crazy to think.
It's essentially a Faraday cage.
So I'm wearing, it's a Faraday jacket essentially. And she has a bunch of other stuff like that out there that works really, really well. So I wear that as often as I can. And then
oh yes, your wearable.
Yeah, my beautiful necklace. So this is an EMF modulator. So like the jacket actually blocks out radiation, Wi-Fi, electromagnetic fields, whereas this is, according to Aries Tech, it's a
Tech.
modulator.
Yep.
So it just modulates the electromagnetic frequencies that are within, I think, like a 30 or 60-foot radius.
That one's a little bit small. I think it's basically within your general vicinity of where you are.
Yeah. So,
really,
but again, there's a difference between blocking and modulating.
Well, and the other thing, if you don't want to spend the money on, so some of these things can run you a lot of money.
Very
Simple things like just not having your phone in your bedroom, anything that's going to emit any kind of EMF, because your phone is just a big radiation machine that's going to push it out. So having nothing in your room, like I bought an analog clock for my alarm clock, and once you got rid of your phone and I got rid of my phone, that was a huge drop that we noticed, or a huge increase that we saw in our quality of sleep.
Oh yeah, we sleep so much better because phones are, my phone's off. At least one phone is on for emergency purposes.
Well, and I noticed that when I got rid of things like the phone and the blue light to a degree, my sleep scores went from the 80s to the 90s.
Yeah.
So the quality was that much better, and I felt better. So yeah. Because I think, you did the Omni and the Aries Tech, because I really wanted to get you something that you wear that you could actually incorporate daily, that take with you, because there's only so much you can do in your home, and you can't always expect what other people are going to have with them. So it's hard to, and to be fair, you can also drown in this. I mean, there's so much around that you still got to live life and still do the best you can, but try to eliminate the things where you can. That's the number one thing.
Yeah. And I think that ties into, all the research that you've done on health and wellness, and all these kind of like biohacks, right? And these are some of the things that you talk to your clients about for your coachlogancarlson.com. So for those of you who don't know, Logan is a coach, and not just physical and food and supplementation, but also spiritually.
I mean, the best way I can describe what I like to look at when it comes to coaching is I want to know what you're doing in your daily life and giving you the tools to make you more successful. You have to be the one to apply them, but I don't want you dependent upon me. And I just you can drown in the amount of information that's out there when it comes to nutrition, to supplementation, to protocols and different things. And I've spent the last 2 years specifically, I mean, I've been training for 18 years, so diet and nutrition is like the back of my mind. But when it comes to the protocols and routines, the morning priming, the nighttime routines, Aries Tech and things of that nature, what could you incorporate into your life that can actually make you that much more effective? And you're talking again, like minor percentages, but a 1%, a 5%, it compounds over time.
And like you said, every body reacts differently.
Very much.
So some people will have because I can tell when I wear this jacket, I feel lighter. And then same with, after doing a sauna session, or like when you got us the air purifier for our home, it's just, you just feel, you can tell it's working, and it's clean.
Right.
So I think everybody just kind of has to experiment. And that's what makes you such a great coach, is the fact that you're, nothing is definitive. Everything is pretty much experimental, because it's based on you as an individual and your specific DNA.
Well, and I don't like working with people that will either lie or not be accountable for their own actions. If you truly want something, you can go after it. But I know from social media to anything you can read online, there's so much information, and this is the right way. And I don't really believe in the right or wrong way. It's only there's the right and wrong way for you. And you have to be your own kind of guinea pig. I've done that for 18 years, and I'm still following people and learning different routines and different styles. And I like that process. I love the idea of constantly leveling myself up to become more optimal and more better. At the same time, you can drown in it, because if you're only focused on being so optimal, you can limit yourself to experiences and events and things of that nature. Especially when it came to training, I would limit myself on food and nutrition, because I had to hit a certain time frame, had to be certain foods and certain macros. And you really don't start living outside of that. If you're competing or doing like a competition, it makes sense. But for general day to day, just, you can have an ice cream once in a while, but it's not having ice cream every night. And it's not, or you can just have Ninja Creamies, and you can have them every night.
Oh my gosh. So, the blueberry vanilla protein.
Oh, it's crack.
Oh, that ice cream is incredible. Cause I'm like, let's just add a handful of blueberries in there. Now that's our favorite.
Yeah. That, and my parents gave us that vanilla Mexican vanilla from Arizona, and it's
Mhm.
freaking killer.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, it's not to get too much on it, but yeah, the main thing that I try to look at is how can I optimize you to give you the tools to make you the best version of yourself, and then you go off from there, and then you level up and do your thing. You're not trying to drown yourself in too much information and trying too many different things, and then one toe in, one toe out. You try something
Yeah.
for a few days. Anything you try and do, you should always give it a week or two, give it the full process, document, journal, and see how the results come from it. If you do it for a day or two and then it doesn't work, well, yeah, you didn't give it enough time, and you got to be a little bit more real with yourself. So,
Well, and that's why you put together such a great, you know, program, where it's structured for it's a 6-month process,
minimum, yeah.
And because a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, I just want to do something for a month." It's like, well, do you want to change your lifestyle, or do you just want to lose, a few, 10 pounds? You can lose the 10 pounds, but if you're going to go back to the habits and the lifestyle that got you those extra 10 pounds on you, you're going to get them back.
Well, and look at it this way. What's easier for someone to do? Is it easier to diet or is it easier to fast?
Fasting.
Exactly. Why is it easier?
Because I can still eat whatever it is that I want.
Yes,
within limitations and within a certain, time window. That's why everybody knows me as Mrs. Vino, and I'm a food blogger. So I eat when I go out to these restaurants, and I don't say no to anything.
But what I'm getting at is, why is it that fasting is easier, or not easier, but it's the thing that would work over dieting? Why is it the mentality behind it?
Because you feel as though you're not restricting certain foods.
Kind of. What I'm getting at is this. It's more of the fact that when you're talking about fasting is finite. It's what it is. You've made a decision, you stuck to it. I can't break free from this. Diet is an ever-encompassing thing.
It's very restricting.
It's not just restricting though, but it's not just restricting though. It's the fact that it's open-ended. Whereas if you are fasting, I'm fasted, I'm not eating anything, it is what it is. Whereas dieting, I can maybe have a little bit of this, or I can dabble into this. There's a openness to it where you can kind of cheat and get your way into it. When you fast, you have to fast. There's no in and out of it.
And there's also, with you and me, but you specifically being such a great coach, is teaching people and making them realize food is medicine. From my perspective, as herbalism, alternative medicine, Ayurveda, food is medicine. Us Westerners, we're so reliant on doctors to prescribe us something that's a quick fix, when really you should be looking at your lifestyle and what it is that you're fueling your body with. Well, and I feel like with fasting, after you fasted, it's like, okay, I want to feel good after I eat. So that's why I'm going to choose, lean protein, leafy greens, fruits, versus I'm going to have pie.
Well, and also the idea of what a doctor is. I mean, you're going into a doctor's office and you're giving them 10 to 15 minutes and trying to explain your entire day in life. Yeah. They're only gonna be able to do so much, but it's more than that. They're not designed to make you optimal. They're just designed to make you not die.
Yeah.
Now there are good, I'm not trying to disregard doctors. There is a value to it, but at the end of the day, you have to be the owner of your life, and you have to take things into consideration of what you do daily. And at the end of the day, what you should and should not be doing, and if this is good or not for you. A lot of people, and I've been there, because again, it's part of our culture. Eating is pleasurable. It's fun. And we have a lot of highly palatable, high calorie foods that are very easy to consume.
Yeah.
But at the flip side, we have a lot of healthier options that can trick the body into thinking it's getting less calories and it still tastes good. You have both spectrums. So yes, there's a lot of process. There's a lot of chemicals and different things in our food, but there's also a lot of health that we've never had access to before, that previous generations never had.
Bottom line, it comes down to choice.
Yeah.
You, as an individual, get to choose pie for dinner or salmon and vegetables.
But I'm also saying too, you can have pie once in a while. It's just, is it a daily thing?
Yeah.
Again, you got to get away from the idea of dieting. It's what's the nutrition plan, and what is it that you can do daily that you can stick to? Everyone that does a diet, they're trying to undo years of bad habits, and they don't necessarily want to change eating those things or those habits, but they don't like the way they are, the way they feel. So they'll do something quick and they'll jump into it. But it's like, if you're going to do like a carnivore diet, which is very harder and it's one of the hardest diets.
It's one of the hardest diets out there.
And I'm not saying you can't do it, but I'm just saying, can you do that consistently for your whole life? If you can, Godspeed to you. But what can I do consistently that allows me to stick to this routine over the period of my life? And I really think that fasting or intermittent fasting gives people at least less time of insulin spiking. They give more food intake and when they want in that window that they're allowed to eat, and they can still enjoy the foods they want to enjoy.
I feel like diet, that word, like you could look up the Webster, whatever, but for me, diet, it's almost like a trial period. Like you're tiptoeing and seeing if the paleo diet works for you, if the carnivore diet works for you, if this one works for you, if this one works for you. But at the end of the day, you have to have that long-term goal of what is going to be my lifestyle.
Right.
If I have to, kind of experiment with all these quote diets, find which one is going to become your lifestyle.
That kind of goes again to the point I'm trying to make, though, when it comes to the fasting versus dieting kind of mentality, is that are you that person? Are you the person that's going to eat X thing and XY thing, or are you just going to dabble into different things? If you don't view yourself as that person, the version of yourself you're trying to become, it'll never stick. Fasting is finite. You don't eat. So more people are able to stick that, because I don't even have there's too many options. I don't have, the only option is you eat or you don't eat.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So it has a benefit. Now, again, at the flip side, you have to make sure you're getting enough protein and enough nutrients and vitamins minerals, and things, and that, obviously all that stuff. But at the end of the day, can you stick to this routine that you're trying to implement? And then if you can, it's just minor tweaks. And I think, again, you don't have to go to the extremes on so many things. People are trying to undo so many bad habits, and then they literally dive off the edge and do these insane diets or these insane, you haven't gone to the gym for, let's say, like a year or a couple of years, and you go and you're doing like 2-hour workouts every day. It's like, after a week, you're going to be fucking burnt out and you're going to be done. I'm sorry. No, do 30 minutes, slowly increase over time, figure out what you like. If you like swimming, you like running, and incorporate that over time, and just slowly increase and leveling it up. And having the mentality that I'm trying to become of the version of myself in the future by acting like that person
right now.
And
present
if you embody that, and again, that's the same mentality through all of it.
Yeah. And it all comes back to present moment. You're talking about changing, start right now. Do it right now.
Yep.
There's nothing holding you back. If you're that capable, and, God bless you if you have the ability to choose to, do something different, and you're capable, you have to be willing to, and realize how blessed you are to be like, wow, I have this opportunity to change and to be the best version of myself that I see myself. I can be that person. And it's daily. Because there's times, even for me, I'm like, all right, I don't want to do cardio, but I'm going to do cardio because I know it's good for my body. I know that my outcome is going to be better. We've been in the bodybuilding space for a very long time. It's like, once the teacher becomes the student, you know what to do. It's like, you just got to do it.
Well, and to give you an example of this, there's twofold. You could do like the cardio. Like, I like to walk because I listen to my books and my audiobooks, and I like to like process different things. But there's actually a cool thing where if you do like the air bike and you do intervals, you do HIIT training with it. So you'll do something like
high intensity interval training, for those who don't know. Yeah,
you'll do like 20 to 30 seconds all out, like something's chasing you, it's going to kill you. You have to give everything you have for 20 to 30 seconds, and then you give 60 seconds of just standard baseline, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, 2 to 3 rounds. Most times by the time you get to the third round, most people don't even want to do the third round, but that 6 to 8 minutes of cardio has the same health benefits of like 60 minutes of steady state cardio.
Yes.
But do you like doing steady state? Do you like doing that? Incorporating both. So again, you have to incorporate what you like to do. And I also think that there has to be a part of it that you don't like. I mean, you need to incorporate things that make you uncomfortable and help you grow, but also like, can you be consistent with it? That's the big, because there's many days, like, I don't always want to go to the gym, but I love going to the gym. And usually the days I don't want to be there, I have some of the best workouts, and the days I want to be there, they're sometimes average. They're okay. And I find that more often than not, you don't want to get there or be there, but once you go there, do the workout, you're very grateful that you did because you feel that
Yes.
much better.
Yeah, that's why I love my morning workouts. It just sets the tone for the day. You know, my cardio and then my dry sauna. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite. That's my treat at the end of my workout is dry sauna. That's like my cake.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I have my cardio, and that's the thing for me. And again, it comes down to when we talked about the blue light and getting in natural sunlight. I think just getting outside a little bit more. Again,
Mhm.
the one simple hack that I've always found that helps people, and there's a lot of health benefits behind it, is anytime you eat a meal, go walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Helps reduce insulin. It gives your digestion. It helps with digestion because your abs and everything's contracting and moving while
Mhm.
you're walking. Little things like that can really go a long way. That really help improve. So,
Mhm.
yeah. But
Yeah, and mentally too.
it's a mental thing for me.
It's well, it's that sense of accomplishment, right? You know, once you do the work and you put it in and then just repeat, repeat,
Yep.
repeat. Get that cortisol spike.
Well, outside of that, I always find that if you're trying to become more and you're trying to do better, just start small. Start with something,
Mhm.
again, gym for 30 minutes or wake up 15 minutes earlier, go for a 10-minute walk. Don't go too hard too fast.
Mhm.
And as you slowly integrate, that'll make things that much better. Because again, you can stick to these things much longer.
Yeah, and don't wait, everyone. Don't wait until Mother Nature rears her head again because we're supposedly going to be getting some more wildfires.
It's every year. It's
I know,
happen.
and that's the thing. Even short term, like I said, short term exposure, not good. Repeated short term exposure, which when did these fires start for us? Really, it's been what 4 or 5 years, almost every summer.
Yeah, the Canadian ones have been going on for a few years now,
Yeah.
but this was the worst that we've ever had.
Yeah. So my point is take ownership of your life, be proactive. You know, if you want to incorporate some of these, you know, heavy metal detox uh, supplements, you know, do go to seriously go to Zerbo's in Livonia and go talk to either Deb, Claire, Shannon, and then my favorite girl, Lorene. Just go and visit those guys or Joe. They're all great resources for whatever it is that you're looking, whether it's a heavy metal cleanse, you know, getting more silica into your diet, vitamin C, glutathione, you know, all of the supplementation that we do. It's been, you know, years in the making, and these are things that I just learned about, you know, last year. So, and I'm constantly learning, constantly reading all my herbalism books and, you know, just, and then another thing I just started was, you know, fermentation, gut microbiome, which that'll probably be another, we'll talk about that another episode or so. But I do want to do a couple plugs here.
Okay.
Podcast Your Voice Studio. Whoop, whoop. That's where we're at. And you check out their brand new website, podcastyourvoice.com. There's this great company called Carlson Collective, and they're Carlson Collective Consulting. And the lead architect just happens to be this dude right here. So put together that for him, for Jamie here for Podcast Your Voice. So if you're looking for a professional studio where you have access to StreamYard and Buzzsprout and Opus Clips and, you know, professional equipment, you know, Jamie Flanagan, he just retired. Woo woo! Happy retirement, Jamie. From radio broadcasting. He was a, I believe, high school teacher, and then he's been in radio and broadcast. I think at least 3 decades or so. So check out podcastyourvoice.com if you're looking for a professional studio to access. And then also coachlogancarlson.com for men who are seeking a transformation, not just physically, but you know, also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like I said, Logan Carlson has been, you know, doing this for what, over 18 years.
Over, yeah.
You started when you were a teenager in the gym. So it all starts with, the piece of clay or the block of marble and has been carved into, this masterpiece that you're consistently growing and exploring and finding new things that could work for some of your clients and could work for you and me.
Well, and most people, again, at least even when I did, you got into the gym because you were either unhappy with how you looked, how you felt, and it gave you an outlet for that. And then it built from there. As long as you're still leveling up, it can have a purpose to get started, but you should go deeper into it. And it shouldn't always also like not control your entire life.
Yeah.
The few things I would say for some like call to actions would be for anyone that's listening, start one detox protocol, something simple. Go to the sauna for 15-20 minutes, one day a week, a couple days a week. Just start small. Add one of those things that my wife's talked about, the chlorella, the cilantro, zeolite, and different things of that nature. And
cilantro is just a natural heavy metal binder. I didn't mention that earlier.
Well, and again, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with any of these one habits, but that another one is implementing like one light hygiene win. So like enabling a blue light filter on your phone, getting outside for 15 minutes and going for a walk, getting the light in your eyes for 15 minutes in the first 30 to 60 minutes after you wake,
sunlight.
Something along those lines. Or again, no screen time after like 9 p.m., and whether it's listening to an audio.
We're in bed.
Well, we're in bed, but whatever your bedtime is, try to give yourself at least an hour before that. And then I would also say be intentional about your EMF. So audit your bedroom, your home, your phone. Try to keep, these things away from you at least 3 feet or wide further. And, trying to avoid things like your screen time, again, within that time frame. And anything else outside of that, if you have things that you have found that have worked, that have really changed your life, comment on this video. Let us know. I like to hear other people's perspective because that's one thing I love learning is just what works for you and how does it implement your life and has changed your life. And one of the things that we do is we have this book that I got. It's Leo Tolstoy, and it's Tolstoy, sorry. And it's a calendar of wisdom. Let's see if I say his name right. And it's basically different collections of books, quotes, and different things that he's read over his life. He actually wrote this in 1911, and it actually was banned in Soviet Russia because it was considered bad information because they didn't want you to be self-sufficient and growth and all these different things. And what it is each day is marked, and it has different things based off that day, like a different theme. So for today, we thought we'd share on July 31st a couple points. So
yes, read to me. I love it.
So if Christians would follow the law, there would be no rich and no poor. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do, that I may have eternal life? Jesus said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. It's Matthew 9:16-21. There's a rich person can be insensitive and completely indifferent to the woes of others. Wealth reminds me of manure in the field. When it is in a big pile, it makes a bad smell. But when it is distributed everywhere across the field, it makes the soil fertile.
I like that from my gardening perspective.
And lastly, a person must completely close his eyes on his morals, that in a Christian society so filled with people in need, there are other people who are so proud to have great wealth. So like I said, some daily words of wisdom for you.
I love it. Thank you. I love when you read to me.
And outside of that, we hope you enjoyed. We're going to do more, obviously, episodes in the future about this. And if there's things you would like to have us cover, or if there's topics that you think you'd like to have more insight, whether it comes to marriage, health, wellness, spirituality, whatever it may be, comment below. Let us know.
Yeah. Or also you can email us. So you can email Logan at carlson-collective.com or email Chris. So that's KRIS at carlson-collective.com. And then we'll be setting up our website soon. But for the time being, for you've got CoachLoganCarlson.com. I've got MrsVino.com. And we've got podcastyourvoice.com.
And if anybody's looking for a new website, if you have a website that's out of date, if you don't have one for your business or you want one, reach out to us. Like I said, I can build those out and customize them and make them look like $10,000 websites
Yeah.
and really help your business or
'Cause
yourself grow.
yours is sexy.
That's what I try to go for. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.